Personal Finance Month. Here we go. I started investing when I was 19. I am now 22 and I'm turning 23 later this month. I know, it's been what, 4 years, 5 years? And there's so much more that we need to know about investing. Even then, I wouldn't consider myself as someone of a professional or someone who is proficient when it comes to investing. However, I did learn many things when it comes to investing. And that is why I decided to make this video because I was also just 19. I was just freshly legal, about to open my tax free savings account. And I know for a fact that this is a monumental financial decision that will impact me for the rest of my life. It can make me go broke or it can make me go woke when it comes to my financial decisions. So, with that being said, what does that truly mean? One thing that you need to know is you need to research. Like we are now at a digital age that is full of misinformation. And there is a lot of things that you can do to mess up your TFSA. And tax-free savings account is such a huge important thing that all Canadians should have. We should all have this. We should all open one and we should all ensure that we are getting the most that we can do, especially with this high cost of living. And if I could go back in time to turn my 19-year-old self, what I would do now with the knowledge that I have as a 22-year-old turning 23 in literally 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'll start off with first. Do not treat your TFSA as if it's a savings account. Your TFSA is a tax-free savings account, but it's not really just a tax-free savings account. That savings account means you have to invest the money that you put in your TFSA, and you actually have to make sure that you're constantly contributing to it, right? It does not grow unless you truly invest in the stock market, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, or whatever you can buy with the TFSA. The goal of the TFSA, as to how I understood it, is you want to make that money work for you, either through stocks, ETF, index fund, mutual funds, or even bonds that can fund your long-term growth. Like, what are your goals, right? And I know I just said the bonds, the GIC, or the mutual funds, but if you're 19 like me, I would suggest to skip it. Why? Because I think that as a 19-year-old, you have time with you. There's concept, and it has been proven that the earlier you start investing, the higher your return will be if you do it right. Now, what is doing it right? I don't know. That can depend on what is you want for yourself, right? For a young investor, growth is key. And bonds and GIC, they are super safe, but they're low return. Instead, focus on learning your long-term goals. Again, through ETFs, or beware with this one, but picking your own quality stocks that align with your goal. It is risky, but it pays off in the long run, especially when you have time on your side. Number three, educate yourself. Educate yourself by reading books about stocks. ETF investing. Start small. If you pick up a book and you don't understand what it says, stop, don't read it, pivot to another one. There's so many books that you can read, and my favorite one is the Wiley Plus How to Invest for Dummies. That is the first book, the first few books that I've read when it comes to my own financial journey. And you don't really need to start big either when it comes to these books. You don't have to buy these books. I went to the library. I went to the library and I picked it up myself and I checked it out and I had what 15, 20 days to read a book. You can probably read it in less than a day, maybe even 6 hours if you really want to. But then if you really want to, keep that concept running in your head about like how to read a stocks, how to pick a good stock, whatever aligns your boat, keep rereading it. Maybe even take notes. If anything, actually take notes. Don't highlight the book if you borrowed it, but make some little sticky notes and then put it in your journal or in your, I don't know, notes. Make notes. That's literally what it is. Make notes. Number four, there's a lot of people that are selling hype stocks. And hype stocks, you can make money from it. You can also lose money from it, especially if it tanks and never goes up, like a meme coin. I did that before too, with some questionable stocks. So don't do that. Or if honestly, if you still want to do buy those stocks, you know what you should do? You should have what I call fun money. Fun money. Money? Fun money. What is fun money? Fun money is like, maybe throw $100 or $200 on a stock that is having hype. And if you lose it, then you lose it. Now, for some, that might be $50, $10. Maybe you don't even want to put money into that. Don't. Personally, don't. Only put money into that if you can tell yourself that you don't need that money right now. And if you lose that money, it's not going to affect you in any shape or form. Number five, understand what market correction is and do not start panicking. Do not pull out your investment that has strong guaranteed return. Think of ETF like VFV, which tracks the S&P 500, which has historically strong returns. And during the 2020 COVID market crash, air quotation mark, that stock basically went down. And if I didn't know what market correction was or what is economic downturn, I would have sold those stocks in fear and I would have lost that money. But I did it. And that's why now my VFV has a high return because I bought more. That's what I did. And given with that, I just want to follow up number six, which is understand what dollar cost averaging is. You know, I know people always say like when it comes to investment, you have to time the market. I don't know the time of the market. I don't. I just buy it consistently. And I know that even with that, with the theory of dollar cost averaging, that will still build me investment in growth regardless with 50 to even $100 a month worth of contribution. And again, with the stocks that I do have, I am pretty confident in what I own and what ETF I do buy. But, this is all like personal to you, right? And now that you have resources available, start looking at what resonates with you. And again, if you just if you are still young like me or way even younger and you have the ability to own buy stocks because you have money, let's say from work, extra money from work. Actually, yeah, if you have extra money from work, I wouldn't say invest if you only have money from allowances. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't, only if you have a part-time job because I also work part-time. Um, Understand the power of time, especially with compound interest. Time is your advantage. You can search up many videos about compound interest, and when when you look at it, it's basically like if you start investing at 19 versus let's say 25 versus at 30, the money that you will have, let's say by 60, will have higher returns if you start investing at 19 versus 25 versus 30. And yeah, time is with us. Time is power. And as younglings like me, you should definitely consider investing. Lesson number eight, have a long term goal, not just a number. Like, is this for retirement? If so, have you considered Coastfire? Coastfire is a fantastic concept. I think it's a concept. I don't even know. I don't know. But Coastfire, basically, Coastfire is when you are able to achieve financial freedom, stability, and peace of mind that even if you did lose your job, you can just coast through life. And You know, you need to understand what kind of value do you need to be coast firing. For me, I'm actually in that I've been meticulous of planning what I want for coast fire. And so because of that, I will make another video about coast firing because I like that concept. And number 9, make sure that you have extra money when you're investing. Do not invest all your money into a stock because you need to make sure that you have emergency savings in a high yield savings account, all right? Like even just in a regular savings account. Do not put all your money in your TFSA. I made that mistake before, and I remember having to wait for my paycheck to arrive because I was like, oh my God, I cannot pull out any money because when you pull out money from your TFSA, you are losing that contribution room because you withdraw. All right. Like in Canada with your TFSA, you have a maximum limit of contribution. And I haven't been maxing that out because I don't have that much money. It's crazy. But I did remember that when I pulled out money from my TFSA, I couldn't contribute that money back because I reached the maximum contribution of that year. I haven't been diligent. I should be more diligent about my finances, but we don't talk about that. So yeah, that's basically how I messed up. Oh, well, I didn't really mess up. So that's basically some of the lessons that I have learned and what I would tell my 19-year-old self about TFSA and this whole journey, financial freedom journey, financial literacy journey, actually. Basically, don't chase the hype, learn the basics, be patient, and if anything ever start happening, don't fear. Every small, consistent investment adds up. Even if it doesn't feel like it is gonna make you financially stable and free. Because remember, your TFSA, this is not just a wealth machine. Don't expect to reach $1 million by like overnight. It's a long journey. This is your quiet, well, mellow, a little bit on the slower pace type of financial growth and freedom and stability. However, if you meticulously plan yourself and align yourself with the goals that you need, I can assure you that you will reach that financial stability. After all, this world is ever evolving. We are living in a time where investing is easier than ever. You start reading these books that I will put in the link below if anyone is ever watching this video, which I don't think anyone will. It's more like a diary to myself, if I'm being honest. But remember, this is just my personal experience, and this is not professional financial advice. Think of it as lessons that I learned to myself and what I would tell my younger self. And if you pick up anything from it, then I hope that this can help you, if anything, or you can consider what you want for your own financial journey. Remember, I'm also just 22. I'm learning as I go, even though I turn 23 in like 2, 3 weeks. And I think that when you think about investing, I'm using Wealthsimple. It's I use the self-direct feature, but it also has features like robo advisors where you have artificial intelligence that is basically helping you pick those stocks. Again, everything comes with a risk, right? So do your research, be diligent, and I think that will be it for this one. And maybe I'll make another video for Personal Finance Month. I love this month personally just because it's about financial literacy. And I think this is something that's been really important when it comes to fellow youth, fellow Canadians, fellow youth. We need money more than ever. We need financial literacy more than ever. We need financial stability to just catch up with this ever growing expensive thing called life. So I guess that's that. And